Welcome on in, guys. Three Bold Takes, and today we have a special guest, two-time national champion with the University of Alabama. Marquis Maze has joined us on the wake of Saban retiring. Obviously, he played for Saban, so I thought it'd be a great, addition to the pod and kind of hear his thoughts about it. But I'm Freddie. I'm joined with Chase and Quinn. Marquis, thank you for joining us and being willing to talk to us.
All right, thanks for having me.
Absolutely, man. So first off, I would kind of like to start it off by just what did Saban mean to you as an 18-year-old at the University of Alabama, and then we can kind of go round robin style on any questions that we have for you.
So initially, coming out of high school, I started getting offers around the 10th grade, and um, Alabama was a school that didn't recruit me hard. I was doing the Mike Shula era, and so I was kind of pissed with Alabama. Just growing up being an Alabama fan, I was kind of pissed with Alabama because all these other schools had Tennessee's and Michigan and even Auburn and the rest of those guys had offered me, but no Alabama offer. So I was kind of at 17, 18. I was pissed with Alabama. To just frankly, I was pissed. I wanted to go somewhere I was going to be able to play against them. And January came, Coach Saban got hired. The next day, I get a phone call from Coach Saban, and he told me that he was sorry that the last staff didn't offer me, and just give him a chance. And we had a good conversation on giving him a chance, and the rest was history. But for Coach Saban, man, I think recruiting me was he was more real. Uh, a lot of coaches told me that they tell the recruits that how good they are, and you can come in here and start, and you go to the NFL, all the stuff that a kid want to hear that plays football, that their dream is to go to the NFL. So with Coach Saban, his initial thing was you can come in and have an opportunity to play as a freshman. Um, the learning curve from high school to college is a whole lot different. And if you understand that and are and good enough to play, you will play. So that stood out alone to me. Uh, it felt real. It felt authentic. And I'm one of those guys that um, like real. I like people be authentic with me and don't sugarcoat nothing. So I signed with Alabama in February, and man, the rest is history.
Man, that's awesome.
Go ahead, Jess. Sorry.
Go ahead, Quinn.
Marquise, you bring up the authentic nature of Coach Saban and that being the reason you signed. And, with him retiring, we've heard a lot of talk about all the achievements he's achieved while he was at Alabama and before. Do you think that realism that he brought, or that real personality he brought with his players, is the thing that separated him from the rest of coaching in college football?
To be honest, for me, I can only speak for myself because I don't know what other guys um, get out of or what they're trying to get out of coaches. But for me, I would say, yeah, that was one of those things. And not only that, man, the relationship he's had with me out even after I was done with Alabama. So that's one of those things that was real to me. And man, it's just amazing that, I'm just pleased that I got an opportunity to play for the guy. And it's a lot of kids that's probably hitting the transfer portal. That's probably now, only probably hitting it because Coach Saban left. But man, it's one of those things where, man, a guy like Coach Saban, man, he's straight up and down with you, and I can respect that more than I can respect somebody lying to me.
And so, you're talking about how well Saban was versed in talking to you and explaining things to you, being authentic. Do you kind of see any of those characteristics in this new coaching staff with DeBoer and the rest of the guys?
That I can't answer. I have never met him. Haven't met him yet. Plan on getting down there sometime once all of this, the coaching hires and all of this stuff come into play. Plan on getting down there and just talking to him and seeing where he's at with the program and seeing what type of person he is. Sure, it's hectic right now.
Right.
You know, it's hectic, man. It's been 17 years since Alabama needed a head coach. So it's kind of hectic. And the schedule down there is not what we accustomed to because of the change. But everything's getting back in place. Once he get all the coaches that he need,
Mm-hmm.
then everything will get back in place. We're gonna have guys to leave. It's inevitable, but hey, it is what it is. I just want the fans to understand that we can't focus on the guys that's not here no more. That's not gonna be here.
Right.
I don't indulge in dogging those kids out because they have to do what's best for them. I understand that part of it, but if they're not Alabama, I'm not rooting for them. So that's my take. I don't care what they do, but if they're not Alabama, I wish them well wherever they go. I'm just rooting for my team and what I help build.
That's right.
And let me follow up to that real quick, Freddie. I'm sorry. In his press conference, DeBoer mentioned that he welcomes all alumni back, and I saw a couple old guys, Reggie Ragland and some others, tweet out in support of that. What does that mean to you as an alumni of the Alabama football fraternity and to the other guys?
Man, that means a lot, man. I also think that helps in recruiting. It also helps with recruiting and it also helps with the guys that's still there, knowing that it's an open door policy. Coach Saban always had an open door policy for his players, and even players that weren't his players that played at Alabama. So that was a good thing to hear.
Yeah, I mean it definitely seems like DeBoer's trying to kind of almost keep things the way they were when it comes to the alumni, when it comes to past coaches and things of that nature, which is always good. But circling back to kind of Saban in general, man, I would love if you have a funny moment, your favorite memory. Did he chew you out one time that was just so funny afterwards? Like, what are you thinking? Like, what's the first thing that comes to your mind whenever you think about your favorite memory of Coach Saban?
Man, it's so many. It's so many. I told one about a few days ago about I was mad at him. He was getting on to me in the meetings. Right before practice, we had meetings, and he was getting on to me and dog cussing me, which didn't bother me. It bothered other players some. But I was in my feelings that day, and I was mad. We come to practice, and he slapped me on my butt as we walking out from the locker room to practice to the practice fields, and say, and just asked me, am I still mad at him, and how long I'm gonna be. He just kept asking me questions all day. How long you gonna be mad at me, Maze, and things of that nature. So, man, I even not with me, but I have a memory of when we were in fall camp one year, and it was a guy just, oh my God, he was just playing terrible. He was at practice playing terrible, and coach was on the screen, and he just kept circling the guy. But I don't know if I can curse on here, but he
Yeah, go
said some
for it.
foul things. So he's circling the guy. So he's saying, "Who the fuck is this?" And the guy said, "Me," and coach said, "Who the fuck is me?" And the guy said his name. I'm not gonna put his name out there. He was like, and then he just started dogging him. He said, "I send your ass back to wherever the guy was from." And the guy got up out the room. He was crying. He got out the room crying, and we all like, I know he ain't leave out the room crying, So it's so many memories, but man, it's so many memories of Coach Saban, man, and some good, some bad, but overall, man, I think each player that's played for him love him.